Hi, any feedback or comments on their presentations from the floor? Marcella?
Thank you for your group. That was a very comprehensive discussion of what you learned throughout the sessions. But I would just like to ask, especially Ishak, what is inclusivity for you? What is the extent of inclusion when deciding and testing, for example, technologies like AI?
Thanks for the question. I have to repeat it. We have to consider three factors to understand the concept of inclusion. Whether people have enough digital access. Number two, they have digital affordability. Number three, whether they have digital ability. That means whether they have the skills to access to the internet world. So we expect that all the devices, all the websites, and everything related to the digital world would be designed according to the universal design, so that people, all types of people, not only people with disabilities, everyone can penetrate, use, and utilize. I think it would be somewhat convincing for you. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much for this group. Next, we will have the group of Mamta, Paribhasha, and also Namka. Yeah. So Namka and Paribhasha, yeah, will be joining. CSIRO. Okay, no problem. We just be flexible. It's just so. Yeah, whoa, okay. Very nice.
If I may have everyone's attention. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. My name is Mamta Sivakoti. I'm one of the APrIGF. Is there? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. So my name is Mamta Sivakoti. I'm one of the APrIGF fellow. What's interesting about our body group, and at the same time a little saddening, is the fact that I'm the only one who's present who got the opportunity to be present here physically. All of our other members are joining us virtually. If it is possible during their presentation time, if we could also have their screen, that would be great. Yeah. So this is us. That's me. That's Seerat from Pakistan. This is Paribhasa from Nepal, and this is Namka from Bhutan. So coming from culturally diverse countries, all of us, and holding a lot of importance in regards to our natural and cultural heritage, we would like to honor and respect the indigenous people as the custodians of the land on which we gather today, and we pay respect to elders past and present. And further, we also recognize the efforts and are grateful towards APrIGF for organizing such a proficient event. Following, in these few days of our participation in APrIGF, there are a lot of reflections that are very personal to us. Me being someone present here physically, my experiences differ from those who are joining us virtually. So we will be sharing our experiences in individual manner, if that is okay. So these are some of the issues that I got the opportunity to discuss in. So it was they were mainly in streams relating to access and inclusion and trust and safety, because I believe that is the two area that is most important to our region and to Nepal specifically at this point. We are not at a point where we can discuss sustainability as freely as we can discuss access and inclusion and trust and safety, because those are our major issues. And as I attended a few of the sessions, there were a few key points that I will be taking away with me. That is the fact that AI is already here. Our only choice is to make sure that we provide access and we include people as we go on, and that we uphold and we strengthen the trust and safety mechanism relating to it. A very interesting session that I had a few hours back was relating to Tech Policy Atlas. And this was sort of an opportunity as well, because in the map we could not really find Nepal. So it is a commitment that I have undertaken, being a lawyer myself, that I will be contributing in regards to the tech policies of Nepal for the Tech Atlas. And I also had a session on access and inclusion. This is the picture. So the social event, I guess connectivity is one of the most important and most beautiful part that APrIGF can give to us. And given the fact that we highly value MSG and just stakeholder engagement, this is definitely an important part of it. And personal commitment is definitely to ensure integrity, active participation and inclusion and collaboration in the days to come. This is my first year being a part of IGF, and I commit that I will be taking it forward, especially through my social media channel and also through my legal community in Nepal. So with this, I am handing the floor over to Namka for his own unique experience sharing.
Good afternoon to all. I'm Namka Zangpor from Bhutan, and I'm one of the fellows for APGRI 2023. So I would like to talk about the accessibility and inclusion. When we say the accessibility and inclusion, it is crucial that we should consider all diverse range of participants, including like those with disabilities, different backgrounds and economic condition. And I think like it is essential for creating positive and inclusive environments. So as per my experience, please can you share the slides? Yeah, because I can't see the slides. Sorry. So I'm one of the fellows which visa has been rejected, and I believe that by the denial of visas to individual from usually the low economic countries like Bhutan, Nepal, who wish to attend such forum raises some important and ethical consideration, as I highlighted below, like digital divide enforcement. So it basically undermines the inclusivity and global nature of APGRIF. We have the online platform available, but it is not really, I can say that effective because of like time zone challenges. We have to perform our on-site duties, and we don't get like social and networking opportunities. That's something that we need to think of. And missed opinion. So like if we are including diverse diverse participants regardless of anything, I feel that there will be like unique perspectives and challenges related to internal governments they have to share. So another one is like unequal participation. So unequal participation and representation in discussion that affects the global internet landscape. So one is like a symbolic importance is that denying such visas sends a discouraging message to individuals who are trying to engage positively in international dialogues and make positive contributions to the global internet governance issues. So way forward, so resolving these issues, I feel requires combination of advocacy, collaboration, and creative solutions. So some solutions being collaboration with the governments, I mean like host governments, embassies, collaborate with civil society and raising issues on human rights, digital inclusion, technology development, and freedom of speech. So lastly, I would like to thank everyone involved in this program to happen successfully. So thank you so much. Next, Paribrasha Pradhan from Nepal. please.
So hello everyone. I'm Paribasha Pradhan, one of the APrIGF fellow who is also participating online due to visa restriction. And like Namka told, I think the notion of being more inclusive towards developing nations like resolves around recognizing the importance of involving these countries in like in international endeavors. And I think to address these issues, a more inclusive approach is needed, like understanding the barriers faced by developing nations and working to overcome them. And this might involve building trust through open communication or demonstrating the genuine intent of collaboration and considering the unique circumstances of each country. So I think APrIGF could have been more involved, like when it comes to an individual who is a fellow and important in the decision making parts in this kind of events. Like I just have this suggestion to APrIGF to or the host to be more involved in helping us for like being overcoming these visa challenges that we are facing. So moving forward, I just want to tell that APrIGF has emerged a pivotal platform for deliberating a crucial dimensions of trust across diverse domains, and it serves as a beacon, bringing together experts, stakeholders, and leaders to unravel this intricate relationship between trust, accessibility, and sustainability in this digital realm. And this event signified a proactive step towards cultivating trust in the way we govern the internet by involving like a diverse group of stakeholders and the multi MSG as well. So this fellowship contributes to like inclusive and participatory development of these digital policies. And this session made me know how trust intersects with various domains, technologies, and initiatives. And we aim to shed light on the pathways that lead to enhanced trust, accessibility, and sustainability in our interconnected digital world. And I must say that the power of multi-stakeholder collaboration in shaping this digital policies is important, and we learn that involving multi-stakeholderism in decision making fosters a more holistic and inclusive approach to internet governance. So wrapping it up, APrIGF session provided a wealth of insights that highlighted the intricate connection between this three triad in this digital landscape. So thank you so much, everyone. Now I would like my another fellow friend, Sirat.
Thank you so much, Basha, and thank you everybody for being a part of the APrIGF. I am Sirat Khan. I'm from Pakistan, and I am also a virtual APrIGF fellow. I am joining in very difficultly this week because unfortunately I couldn't apply for my visa on time, and also the time zone has been an extremely overwhelming issue for me when I've been attending the sessions. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the efforts that the APrIGF Secretariat and the team has put in terms of making sure that there is representation from all parts of the Asia Pacific. But I do think that because we talk about accessibility and because we talk about inclusion, we need to address the elephant in the room. That is the fact that visa inaccessibility is a huge problem for people in Asia, and we unfortunately do struggle with this. So we need to acknowledge the fact that applying for visas is a whole task in itself, apart from the work that we are doing as civil society, as private and companies, as government. So it needs to be acknowledged that this is choosing a location that is inaccessible is sort of unfair to a lot of other fellows. Again, this is not criticism, it's just something that we've taken in from this. And again, time zone is an issue for us. Time zone is 5 hours there is a 5-hour gap between my time zone and the time zone in Australia. I've been waking up at 4 a.m. for the sessions at APrIGF to make sure that my representation is heard and seen. And again, you go to work and then you're coming to the sessions, and it has taken a toll. This week has been very difficult for me personally, if I can say so, because of the time zone. And I actually do have a session tomorrow at 4 a.m. at my time, for which I do not plan on sleeping. So these are just some things that I wanted to highlight because we talk about accessibility and inclusion, and I think they need to be addressed. the online app also, because I just want to cover all the possible points that I can cover as a fellow who is attending online. The events app has been giving us a lot of trouble. I've been finding it very hard to use it. I've written to the secretariat also about it, and I've been told that the app is crashing multiple times, which is why sometimes showing my representation has been a problem. I've still been trying my best, but still. And as far as the sessions go, I am very, very excited and I'm very excited about the sessions that I've been a part of. Emerging technologies is a topic that is very important for the Asia Pacific, because we are adopting new technologies, and because these technologies are being adopted by every state in this region, we also need to see the repercussions that they might bring and the benefits that they might bring for us. And I think
we really need to wrap up now.
Yeah,
We've got
sorry,
a lot of extra time. Yeah.
Sorry. I'll just go over, I just have two more points that I just want to cover. I do think that the panels that are going on, that they are great, but they need to address the fact that as emerging technologies are being adopted, issues like surveillance, privacy, and issues that gendered minorities and women face on the internet need to also be discussed on the panels. I didn't see much of that, and I have attended quite a lot of panels online. And also about the multi-stakeholder model, that's my last point. That's just my last point, I'm sorry.
One sentence, please. Please wrap it up.
I just want to add that the multi-stakeholder model is great, but sometimes it doesn't work in everybody's favor. And in order for some actors to protect themselves, they need to make sure and if they want to not self-censor themselves, the stakeholder model should be cognizant of that at least.
Thank you.
That's it. That's from my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't believe we have time for questions. If there's any question, I guess it was pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there are any questions. Huh? Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. So next we will have the group of Sebastian, Guerna, and also Onyu. Do you want? Please be present on stage. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, you changed it? Is that the one with the bubble?
Sorry, what?
Is that the one with the bubble background? This is what we got.
No, not this one. Look for the body for one. I think what's the name of the one?
Okay. Anyway, do you want to start speaking a bit first? We quickly.
I also don't have microphone also.
Oh, sorry. It's on me. Sorry, my bad. Okay, I just grab you. Thank you.
With you?
Introduce yourself first.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kana Kim, or you know, Sebastian. Yeah, and we would like to share our insights about key concepts of internet governance we learned during this Asia Pacific in IGF in terms of each of our own countries: South Korea, Mongolia, and Singapore. In Korea, there. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. In Korea, there are various internet governance issues being discussed, and e-government is one of them. Digital government, or e-government, is the application of information and communication technologies to government functions and procedures with the purpose of increasing efficiency, transparency, and citizen participation. And Korea is successfully implementing e-government based on its high internet penetration rate. According to the 2022 UN e-government survey, Korea ranked third in the world in the e-government development index ranking. And the picture on the left, is an e-government website called gov.kr where people can process various government services quickly in an integrated manner. However, several things must be considered to maintain a safe e-government system. In terms of digital divide, when the majority of citizens can literally access the internet, clear inequalities in practical accessibility do exist. The Ministry of Science and ICT supports the provision of assistive communication devices for people who with disabilities. However, out of 15,000 applicants, only 1/3 of them actually received the support. Thus, measures are necessary to ensure that all citizens can equally enjoy convenient services. Second, valuable data such as public information and personal information are stored in digital government databases, which cyber attacks can target. Therefore, various security strategies such as blockchain and artificial intelligence are needed to base on the zero trust method. That concludes my presentation, and I'll hand it over to Sebastian.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. This is your captain speaking. We are departing for Singapore. You can enjoy free Wi-Fi on board. Why am I sharing about this? No, I do not work for Singapore Airlines. I am Sebastian, a law student from Singapore, and access to the internet is a reality for youths like me. First thing I reached Australia, I bought a SIM card. As you can see over here, I'm sure everyone do so if you want to be connected. In fact, during the youth IGF track, I was asked a question about what the cyberspace is. I shared that the cyberspace is a reality and a way of living for our youth and our future. My first point is that the cyberspace is our reality. It's a way for us to communicate, to make cashless payment, to study with e-textbooks. In fact, hands out, who actually likes the convenience that the internet gives us? All right, thank you so much for the participation. My second point is that we cannot run away from our reality. There is growing threats in the cyberspace, scammers, hackers, and even in the geopolitical spheres where fellows from South Korea highlight about cyber warfare. And fun fact, Singapore recently set out the 4th service. I serve in the military service in the Army. We have the Navy, Army, Air Force, and recently now we have the digital and intelligence service to deal with such cyber threats. Fellow from Indonesia also highlight about access to the internet for the underprivileged community. There are indeed challenges for this cyberspace reality that we face. So moving on to my third point is that we can take positive action and run towards our reality. Yes, there will be people that face challenges due to the digital divide. Yes, there will be hackers and bad people in cyberspace. However, we can take action by learning from each other through the multi-stakeholder approach and collaborate to overcome those challenges. APrIGF is one such platform for us to overcome those challenges and take actions towards our cyberspace reality. Moving forward, my legal research interests focus on the internet laws in the Asia Pacific. I look forward to sharing with my fellow Singaporeans and Asia Pacific community of what I've learned in APrIGF and contribute to a more inclusive internet society. 2 minutes is a short time. I can go on and on and on and on and on. But now I really have a flight to catch on Singapore Airlines. I'm going to use the Wi-Fi to connect with my loved one. Goodbye and see you again. I will pass the time to my Mongolian teammate.
Thank you. Let's fly from Singapore to Mongolia now, okay? Please put my Mongolian slide with the ancient historical monument and the modern Mongolian buildings as well. So, my name is Oyun. I know this is the longest name in the list. So in short, I say that you can call me Oyuna. So what I want to tell you about my story is, I just want to simply, show about and share about my country. So we are a 3.1 million population we have, but we have a landscape that has 1.5 thousand kilometers square. So which means, we are few people in the big steppe landscape and desert and forest area. That means you can imagine like in the ICT and tech, in the internet aspect, we should have to be needed to connect with each other. We are the people who are living in a nomadic lifestyle, like, riding a horse and herding animals, etc. But still, we also have a lot of modern lifestyle peoples. So what happens now is, in terms of the public information resource, according to my organization, Press Institute say that 82% of the population use internet at least every other day. Social media are actively used by the citizens, both urban and rural area. Those herds families are using internet as well. And Facebook is used by 1.5 million people, which means almost half of the population is using Facebook. And it is regarded as one of the very, first social platform that is providing information sharing among population. Especially the women are the most active on the Facebook than men. And the other thing is, same as the other country, our traditional media are decreasing. We are shrinking newspapers, more news is going around the internet, and number of radio, number of TV is decreasing. However, what was my takeaway from this IGF is, first thing is digital literacy, I'm gonna say, because unfortunately, in Mongolia, we don't have IGF like two of my buddies. So that's why the digital literacy issue is very important in Mongolia, especially for those who are living in the rural area, those who are aged community, etc. The other thing is digital inclusion is also very important. In regards with these two issues, I almost made a list of glossary, trying to explain what term is what and how to explain those important terms into my language, because sometimes interpretation is going wrong, and sometimes people does not really know about those terms that we discussed throughout the session. For instance, yesterday I just wrote about the article that was explaining that right to forgotten. For instance, that term was, for me, it was quite new. I didn't know that we also have a right to forgotten, So, for instance, I should have to be deliberate these ideas into my community. And lastly, I really wish to have a national IGF. At this moment, I'm alone in here. I don't want to be sit alone and discuss internet governance issue alone in this gear. So I want to invite the other multi-stakeholders from my government, my civil society, younger groups, and technical groups, etc. So these are my takeaway I'm bringing from this IGF. And thank you so much, and welcome to Mongolia after the Sebastian Singapore. That's it.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think you guys could have more question or feedback afterward, because time is running. May I please invite JC and Stela and also Ryan to the stage for your presentation, please? Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone, we will keep this short and simple. So are you familiar with the song Old MacDonald? Yes? If you are familiar, we would like all of you to sing with us if you know the tune. So you won't sit down.
Can you put it up on the screen?
So just to give you an idea, we have a lot of things that we've learned from the past sessions, but we wanted to focus on just one for today because of the time and because we all agree about the importance of AI. So this song is about AI and what we learned about it and what we want to do moving forward.
And you guys are able to scroll the AV people as we go?
Okay, so ready? 1, 2, 3. Everywhere AI's a quest, E-I-E-I-O. Regulatory issues we must address, E-I-E-I-O. Lack of resources and low awareness, cultures and norms are different. Tech divide and affordability, but AI is good, you see. Regulations there, balancing rights with utmost care, culture, ethics, privacy, including cybersecurity, crafting laws for humanity, E-I-E-I-O. Alexa, Siri, ChatGPT, E-I-E-I-O. Fraud prevention and content creation, E-I-E-I-O. Sorry. Facial recognition, marketing, self-driving cars, and policing. But AI is not always accurate. Some things we might regret. E-I-E-I-O. Regulations here, regulations there, balancing rights with utmost care, culture, ethics, privacy, including cybersecurity, crafting laws for humanity. E-I-E-I-O. Expertise lacks, the skill gap grows. E-I-E-I-O. Convenience wins and privacy goes. E-I-E-I-O. Generation gap is a buzz. Privacy advocate make a fuss. To regulate AI, we must try till AI use is optimized. Regulations here, regulations there, balancing rights with utmost care, culture, ethics, privacy, including cybersecurity, crafting laws for humanity, E-I-E-I-O. AI's potential is very vast, E-I-E-I-O. It's top of the town, but not too fast, E-I-E-I-O. Regulatory gaps we strive to mend, innovations raise, ethics don't bend.
All these challenges we must
transcend. In multi-stakeholderism we depend.
In multicultural,
and multi-stakeholderism will depend. So yeah, so just to summarize, the first part of the song was about how AI is beneficial to maybe everyone, and then the chorus is about what we have to do about regulations, because we know that regulations are very tricky to do because of diversity of cultures, etc. And then verse 2 is about the benefits. But we said, hey, we have to pause because we might regret things. The verse 3 is about what the problems are, and the outro is what we think we should do moving forward. So I hope that summarizes everything that we want to tell you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's really creative and it's really treating people well. Thank you very much. Treat me up as well. Pariatas and Strada, this is now your time.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to beat that because I was not there for most part of it. I've seen Ryan present, I've seen Marcella present. I know those guys, everybody, each one of the fellows is incredible. So we're gonna do a very modest presentation about inclusion through language and what it means for people who come from so many different cultures with so many different languages, about how inclusion in all these languages is getting prioritized, but not to the extent that it should, because mostly what is the subtle undertone is that if you don't know English, you will learn English, and then you will get included in these conversations. And the I'm not saying that as a criticism. I'm saying that as a shift in mentality of our elders as well. And even though they don't recognize the language, they recognize the structure of a few words. So they know they have to click on it if it is shaped like a F for Facebook, if it's shaped like a call symbol for WhatsApp. So they now started to associate those as symbols instead of learning the language or trying to learn a language at this age. So something along those lines is a presentation that we made about language diversity in the Asia Pacific, challenges towards advancing towards digital dividends, about the benefits that all generations can reap through the inclusion of different languages in the current internet governance ecosystem. So this is going to be the structure of our session. A brief introduction about what the situation is, specific issues that we feel are pertinent based on our lived experiences, a few policy questions, and your contribution for inclusion. So if we can see the next slide. One. Yeah, so the group that we sort of tried to focus on are indigenous groups and communities of our country, which are based out of utmost rural areas. So those are the communities, those are the indigenous groups who have their own culture ingrained, and they've learned it through, and it's passed down through generations. So it's not a culture that they're trying to profess. It's a way of life for them. That is the only way of life that they know. That's the only way of life that they've lived. And those are the only languages that they've experienced. So this is something that we try to put forward, because the access to information is leading us to understand one thing. And this was something that was quoted during a few sessions as well, that knowledge is becoming power, and it's becoming a prerequisite to access resources, to access every sort of information that is required for your benefit in today's day and age. So what we tried to do was we tried to focus on the right to access and the last mile connectivity, and we tried to deal with specific issues or specific aspects that are being empowered, that are being worked upon in current day and age. So one example during our research that we came across was this concept of barefoot engineering that is being practiced in some of the communities. So the idea in barefoot engineering is that engineers are, you go to local communities, you look at students who are studying, and then you try to understand what their requirements are, to then take them and absorb them in the workforce from their high school level itself. So they start learning engineering with the intention of getting a job, and the idea is the company which finances their education ends up giving them the job. While it does sound like a very good initiative, it comes with a lot of constraints when you think about it from a labor law perspective. You're working with that company. But the question is, again, when you're coming from that indigenous community, you don't have access to it. You're seeing that as the only way out for you, because you don't have access to any other information in any of your own languages. So as an engineer, as a high school student, you don't have access to any other form of employment. This seems like a very good opportunity. But this, again, an extreme form of this case is what is made for the benefit of sweatshops. If a person's willing to work, and if the person's saying that I'm willing to be exploited, then why not let that person be exploited? And that's a very problematic line of argument that is to be taken, because the same can then goes about organ trafficking, etc. Because if the person's saying they need money and they're willing to do it, why not? And that's very problematic. So these are the kind of issues that slowly transform the society and transform the way in which we are seeing and dealing with these issues. So it's very easy to dismiss it, saying that, okay, it's a language issue, it's very slowly will be resolved. But I believe the amount of priority we place on it somewhere is a little misplaced, or it should be increased a little bit on that aspect. And that is why we're trying to change that. The specific issues that we tried to focus on and that we encountered during our discussions have been indigenous languages for empowerment and empowerment of these particular communities, and language and culture diversity in the cyberspace, challenges for the Asia Pacific. region, need for multilingualism in the cyberspace. And this is where we believe the universal acceptance aspect and the empowerment of universal acceptance and all these initiatives are going a long way in encouraging communities, in encouraging and ensuring that the communities are working and taking the right steps in the right direction. So strengthening the multilingual internet in the Asia Pacific of the digital revolution. So this is something that was pointed out to me a while ago, and I'm not sure if that still holds true, but I would like for it to be verified, because I know no UA ambassadors have been appointed. Till date, these are the sort of things, small things that bring your attention to issues, right? Till date, there's been no female UA ambassador in the Asia Pacific region ever. And that is problematic when we have so many talented women, so many people from so many diverse regions. So these are the issues that we have to deal with and we have to resolve. So next, the question comes in about how we can overcome the challenges in language and cultural diversity in the cyberspace and how we can strengthen the multilingual internet through emerging technologies. So I think this was one of the key solutions that was proposed in the town hall yesterday when Cheryl spoke about how AI can potentially be the future. This is why innovation, this is why creativity is very important, and it is going to lead us to a solution in the future where all of these could become affordable. We agree that there are a lot of changes being done in the right direction in this regard, but the changes are not happening at the pace that we want or at the rate and affordability that we require. And maybe AI innovation and stakeholder participation primarily will lead to these changes. And that is what we're trying to encourage, and we're trying to leave you with this session. So thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to present our brief, modest session before you. Thank you.
Okay. I don't have any time. Although our slides is not very gorgeous, but the theme is very gorgeous. Okay, we have to think on the technically. So one more thing I want to add: universal acceptance. ICANN is working more. If you are interested in universal acceptance, you can join UASG, Universal Acceptance Steering Groups, and they are working on the multilingualism internet. That basically the top level domain. Okay, .com. Suppose we are talking about .com. This type of xyz.com, we are representing this .com top level domain as a ASCII code. So now this is if you want just Priotos Australia, we can do that. So that's how we can achieve the multilingualism in internet. So if you are having any questions, we are happy to be answer. Okay, thank you.
Thank you both Payatos and Shanda. Next, we will like to invite Saray to come to the stage. Saray, please.
Talafalava, good afternoon to all our APrIGF fellows and organizers. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you again. You might ask, why bubbles? Why I put up bubbles as the background of my presentation? We are from the Pacific. We scatter our islands. So those are bubbles. So you can name the islands are still in bubbles. But with the beauty and with the technology we are living today, so we're trying to connect our bubbles virtually so that we can continue. So good afternoon again. My name is Raite Evita from Samoa, and I think I'm the only Pacific fellow under the APrIGF. So that's the saddest part of it. But but thanks. But thank you again to the APrIGF for doing this. Thanks to the APNIC for bringing our Pacific people here, as well as the PKSOC. Anyway, what I've learned from this fellowship. Can you click next, because I only have 3 slides. These are the thematic tracks that I think the overall of what we've been learned. Even though I missed some of the sessions, but I read through in our program, And these are the major issues and opportunities. It can be issues, it can be challenges, and also issues. The first session this morning was about digital environmental sustainability. We looked little in this kind of matter, but it affects a lot. Because for techie, you only think about ICT. What about the industry? What about infrastructure? What about the manufacturers? What about the industries out there? The regulations, the legislations, those are the things that behind this digital environmental. If you look at the phones, there's no like environmentally friendly type of product like we see in other products. But with ICT products, I'm not sure because I haven't seen it in Samoa, it missed out that, and that's causes a lot of waste. There's a lot of e-waste, anything, everything. So it's something that in this kind of farm we can look at in the future collaboration, is to have a look at this digital environmental sustainability issue. Sustainability, we have heard of cybersecurity. The trust is another issue. Trust the technology, trust the data, and trust the process, and trust the people you are engaging. And that's the other issue, is the people is the most fundamental and is the most cause of the problems. So you need to digitally, literally, inform and engage so that you learn what to do. Inclusion, thank you for the presentations before. They mentioned the inclusion and diversity. And the last one is the fellowship. This is very important in this kind of forums, the fellowship. We learn different, from different countries. We heard from their successful stories. But from the Pacific, yes, we still live in bubbles. With the last mile connectivity is still an issue, but with the connectivity and internet environment, it makes things work. We're moving on, and we need to move with what the internet is going. We can't just leave behind and get the world move around there. And only you Asians are, moving with it. No, we Pacific people want to move it with you. So I think, and that's why this APrIGF, Asia Pacific Regional IGF, comes together. So we need to make that alignment for all of us. And the last one, so what should we do? We still continue with this multi-stakeholder approach because we believe nationally, because that's what we do, it's a successful way for us to move on from the grassroots up to the political level where the decision makers are. The multi-stakeholder is a good way to go. I've heard the last or the other presentation that said multi-stakeholder can be good or not. So do the good one, but forget about the bad one. Inclusive is very important, has to be continually talked about and advocated in any way. And partnership is very important, very important. And the last one, keep our collaborations going and improve so that we can have these tight fellowships between countries. So last but not least, thank you again for the APrIGF for the opportunity to become a member, fellow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saray. So I think it comes to, so all of our APrIGF fellows have presented.